Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Saggy, you pulled it this week. One of my favorite cards from Lay Vampire, you pulled Resurrection, Repraise, Recovery, and Comeback. But then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Gossip. Now, I don't think that there's a situation coming back up, and I don't think that you're getting caught up in the gossip. I think that you may be surrounded by people that don't appreciate who you are. But regardless of that, you're going through your own personal resurrection here. Now, this card is asking you to make things happen for yourself, to start actively exploring the things you have always denied yourself a chance to do. It does talk about something that you thought was over and done with coming back up, but that's normally in a good way with this card. But like I said, with Gossip, it may be that people are not like understanding you because you're going through like this new phase, this new personal resurrection. Now, the card at a glance says that this card represents a truly open heart with no personal agenda other than love. But it can also indicate the opposite, rebellion and denying your true gifts. An ability to follow your heart can appear to others as careless and strange. Yet in truth, everyone wishes they had that loving openness. And I think that that may be what this is about. All right, Sag, here we go. Here's your overall for the week. The World. I'm telling you, getting closure on something here and definitely going through a resurrection. But the World, though, is the overall. It's one thing to go through a completion, but when you have this show up, it's saying that it's happening for you in a very successful way. Things are completing out nicely for you. Feeling accomplished, feeling successful here, and ending like a major phase in your life. But, you know, again, you're opening the door back up to the full where we're moving on a new path. Now, this could be about you needing to get closure on a situation. But like I said, with the World being there as the overall, I think that you do get it. But let's see here. Now, in the past, the Five of Wands, and it's good to see that the World is there. So in the past, there's conflict. There's petty arguments here, maybe facing some competition, right, with the Five of Wands. But like I've always said with this card, there's no intent to hurt. You know, it's just the butting of heads and getting pulled into just like nonsense here. And it may still be affecting what you're doing now. You know, and this could definitely point to the internal struggle though too. Now in the present, the Queen of Wands, fucking right. I love this card, and I love it because she looks like my mom. But it's perfect. For you, Sag, when we're talking about you needing to rise above the rest with the Five of Wands in the present moment, that is exactly what you're doing. You look good. You know how to manage your shit. Right? There's excitement and enthusiasm with her. She's fun to be around. And it's like you tapping back into this energy here. Now, for some of you, yes, you could be dealing with another person here. But when we're talking about somebody getting control over some bullshit with the Five of Wands, yeah, I would see the Queen of Wands as being the one to do that, for sure. But I think that that's you. And you look good. You look good. Even if you're a male, you look good. Now, future conditions. The Six of Swords. Here's what I'm going to say about this one. And this is one of the reasons why, like, I fell in love with this deck, is the different ways that these cards are being depicted. When you're looking at the Six of Swords, normally in most decks, there's like a really dark background. And it reminds me of people like needing to sneak away in the night. But this one, that's not happening, right? I mean, you can clearly see where you're going here, which is great. You still have the swords in front of you. But you're moving away from this now and getting into a calmer situation. You're no longer dealing with this type of conflict. It's like you, boom, get back to yourself and you're like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And again, with the World being there, you know, whatever difficulties that you've faced in the past, you may still be carrying it with you. But by the time you get to that place where things start to get calm for you, it's going to be completed out for sure. For sure. But I always see the Six of Swords as somebody like trying to get away from something. But with the Queen of Wands being there, yeah, you're doing it. It's just a matter of dealing with it as you're moving along. Look at that shit. Hell yeah. Your best path to follow the star. Following your star and moving into a place that's better for you, whether it's emotionally or physically here. But with the star, hope and healing. One of the things that I love about this, I mean, other than it being Aquarius, right? It really is about going with the flow. Going with the flow of things, knowing your place in the universe, and then going along for the ride. You know, and it's not a bad thing. It looks great. So in whatever way that you are struggling right now, you need to restore some hope here and do the healing that you need to do, especially emotionally, because of the whole water situation here, which makes sense when you're dealing with conflict coming through. But it looks great. Now, in your environment, the Knight of Swords. So what I feel like here is, first of all, with the Knight of Swords, this is the type of action where somebody is like, you know what, I'll go in there and I'll take care of it right now. And boom, they're gone, they're in there, and they're dealing with it. Now, as far as communication goes, it's definitely somebody needing to say something, and it's direct. I don't ever question the truth with the Knight of Swords. Now, I don't think that you're being too quick here to move on with the Six of Swords. I feel like you have been ready for this, but I also think that you realize that there are some things that you're going to have to work on. You can't just rush past them, right? But now this could definitely be about you needing to say something to somebody, especially if you're dealing with conflict coming through, or somebody is speaking directly to you. But it's about getting rid of that conflict with the Six of Swords being there. You know, but like I said, I don't think that you're acting too quickly here on something. I think that you're like taking charge of a situation, you know. Oh, wow. Your hopes and your fears, the King of Swords. Now, this may be the person coming through that may have something to say to you. And you know, I have to wonder here if the reason why we're needing to do some healing is because of the emotional detachment with the King of Swords. You know, and like I've always said, when it comes to air signs, it's not that they don't have emotions. It's just that they don't allow that to affect what, you know, they think and the way that they make decisions. You know, it's not a factor. But if you're talking about somebody who's bringing in like a harsh truth or needing to say something in a very blunt way here, yeah, it would definitely be the King of Swords. And I can understand the hopes and the fears around this. It may be a cutting truth, but I think it's something that you need to get to this place right here, right here. It's going to be painful dealing with it, but I think that you're fine. You know, it's like the universe is recognizing here that you're going through a difficult time with the star being there. You know, but like I said, despite, you know, whatever you're dealing with in terms of people, especially going back to gossip, when you're talking about people that don't appreciate your uniqueness here, it doesn't matter because you're still going through your own personal resurrection. And then coming out, karma. I'm starting to like Judgment now because of this card. At first I was scared, like karma? Fuck, man, did you have to make it more scary? But it is what it is. And you've got the world right there. It's beautiful. I mean, you've definitely got some difficult stuff going on just between these three alone, but I think that you're fine. Like, I think that you get to this place where this truth is like, it's almost like it's liberating you. With karma coming out on this, or judgment, it's like, it is what it is. You know, I'm going to be okay with this. I'm walking away now, and I'm moving on to a place that is better for me and getting the closure that you need. And then the Nine of Wands. And I can understand, like, being on the defense. But I think that, you know, whatever is going on here, I think that you've been through, like, enough. When you look at the Nine of Wands, I mean, there's a reason why they call it the Wounded Warrior. You know, it's important to protect yourself and your interest, absolutely. And I don't think that you should be letting the wall down here, though. I think that because of your willingness here to just kind of let it go, you get into this place where, you know, you're taking a stand more so, I think, for yourself. You know, and I don't think that this is somebody that you're going to let back through looking at the King of Cups, because I do think, and I like, this is the way that you see him as far as your hopes and fears. And it's like, where the hell are your emotions? Well, they're right here. I mean, this is who they really are, right? But it's either you or them that is having trouble here as far as like letting go with the Four of Pentacles. You know, now normally this is somebody who is trying to maintain that stability, that hard-earned stability. And definitely for you, I can understand that, but I think that you're letting go because of karma being there, honestly. Or at least you're trying to, looking at the Six of Swords, but I do think that you get there. But, you know, again, with the world being the overall here, you get that closure that you need. But it's really about, you know, you going through that own personal resurrection, right? And then you have karma, judgment showing up. But it's not bad, Sag, but like I can understand coming out on this as the Nine of Wands. Like, it's not happening to me again. Oh boy. The Knave of Wands or the Knight of Wands. It's almost like, you know, and I don't see this as a bad thing. One of the things that they point out with this card is, you know, first of all, when you're talking about the Page of Wands on its own, you know, there's passion, right? This renewed passion, but it is about going beyond appearances and, you know, having a deeper connection or needing to do that. Now, you know, for some of you, it's like your kids again, almost, after there's some healing here. So it doesn't look bad. I mean, for once here, these damn love readings, Sag, you got it pretty good. It's not too bad. But, you know, for those of you who are coming out of a very difficult situation and somebody may be hitting you with the truth, I do think it's going to be easier for you to move on and get that closure, that absolute closure that you need, so you can go through, like I said, that personal resurrection. All right, Sag, so this is all about you. It is all about you and getting back to like this place where you feel better about who you are. Now, again, personal resurrection is the thing that keeps sticking out here. And I do love that you pulled these cards, but I do think that you're surrounded by people who don't appreciate you or don't understand you. Now, for some of you, I don't think that you're getting caught up in the gossip, but you may have people around you that are like talking about what you're going through. But it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. You are absolutely getting closure on something that has probably been a pain in your ass for quite some time, looking at the Five of Wands as the past coming through. But again, when you're talking about somebody rising above the rest, fucking right, that's you. That is you doing that here. But I think that the reason why the conflict is coming to an end is because there may be somebody here that is communicating like the harsh truth to you. Now, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but whoever this is here, I think that they're coming off as emotionally detached about it, and they're being really direct and really blunt and just telling you straight out what it is. And it may hurt a little bit, but you're definitely getting away from it. And again, like I said, right, it's getting closure. But the thing that I love about this is that, you know, you have the star as your best path to follow. This to me is like the universe acknowledging the fact that what you're going through is difficult, but it's ultimately for you to get back to this place where, you know, you are rising up. I love it, and I love that karma came out on this. Usually it scares me. Now, as far as that goes, though, I can understand that there is something that, you know, somebody has been holding on to for far too long. And I do think that these two kings are the same damn person. I do. But I think that this is who this person really is here. Now, as far as that goes, it's like they're either having a hard time letting go, but like I said, it's like they're coming in with the harsh truth, but they're taking an emotional distance, right? When normally they would be loving and supporting. I do think, though, that you are letting go. But you move into this place here because of this where, you know, you're on guard, and that's okay. Like, I understand that you need to protect yourself and your interests, absolutely. And I'm not saying that you need to drop the wall or drop your guard now, but it makes sense that that is how you come out on this situation, because ultimately you are more important than what somebody else is having to say here. Like, seriously, I love the fact that the Queen of Wands showed up here in the present, and then looking at karma and then resurrection. It ties in beautifully. But like I said, with the World being there, you're working on getting that closure, and you get there in a big way, in a really big way. Now, as far as relationships go, it's about damn time that I seen something that wasn't that bad. Now, one of the reasons why I love using the tarot of sexual magic is because if there's anything that I've learned in the 37 years that I've been alive, but not just from my own experiences, but what I've learned from communicating and connecting with all of you, is that our love lives are fucking complicated. And there's like crazy shit going on all the time, but every once in a while you have that few that it's just like, yes, yes. Sag, it's not bad. For singles, engagement, and the hangman, here's the thing. You or the other person here may be wanting to take this relationship to the next level, but you are bound together, and I don't see this one as a bad thing. I'm telling you, I don't see it as a bad thing. I think that the connection is so strong that, you may be moving into engagement, or you may have to wait on somebody to kind of get there. But I'm not seeing it as a bad thing. Now, as far as couples go, it's like your kids again, which is great. And yay, like I'm excited. Healing family issues, and then the Page of Wands, yeah, it's like your kids again. And there's renewed passion after healing some family issues, whatever those issues may be. But Sag, I love your reading. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And definitely with this resurrection that's happening, I'm telling you, that's you. That is you. And you look